It's like royalty has walked into the building.
The funniest woman in Australia, I think. As I'm pretty sure we all do.
Kitty Flanagan,
absolutely.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. We're very excited. Are you a bit overwhelmed by how excited we are, Kitty, for you being here?
I'm just amazed that you're all up and so bright-eyed at this hour of the morning. It's easy for me. It's 10:30 where I come from, so I've been up for hours.
Oh, okay.
It's
I mean,
unnatural.
early mornings are the natural enemy of comedians, really, because you're late night creatures, aren't you?
Yeah, although I'm not a party person after a show. I just have a nice white wine with my sister and my tour manager.
Cup of tea.
Yeah, it's very dignified after a show.
Now, I dig catching you on the project every
week. It's awesome.
It's fantastic. I just love your
I can
take.
tell that's why you called me Cliddy when I walked in. Just like Dr. Rochford always does. You're clearly a fan of Dr. Rochford.
Just a slip of the tongue. That's
enough.
I really like your take.
dirty.
I really like your take on the world, Kitty. I think
Thank
it's great.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it does take me all day to come up with that 2 minutes. I'll confess that. I'm not sitting there like coming up with it off the top of my head. I concentrate all day to come up with that.
Well,
It was very hard on a Tuesday.
It does sound like it sounds so great because it is a rant when you get stuck right into it. So picking something that everybody's acknowledging, an event that's happening or a relationship status type of thing, that's what we love.
Yeah. I have to pick something that's not quite big enough news that the actual panel will be doing it. So usually, I find that usually those stupid university studies into something ridiculous are where I get most of my
like the latest one showing that if you're a good father, then you've got small balls. You've heard that?
I have not heard
They talked
that,
about
but
it last night.
Tuesday, I think I'll be talking about that. Thank you very much for doing my work for me.
You are welcome.
Yes, and bad fathers have big ones. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Sean, are you a good father or a bad father?
I'll leave it to you to judge that.
I think you're a really good dad. I've never seen a dad as good as you.
Kitty, you haven't had a very full career because which is a polite way of saying you're old, I think.
Yeah, exactly. You've
because-
been around a while.
No, but you were on one of those UK sketch shows, weren't you?
One of them, yes. The one called the UK Sketch Show. I was on,
But I mean, that with big stars, it was a kind of a really sort of, worldwide hit, really.
Yeah, well, they've all gone on to have massive international careers.
And you're here in Perth.
That's right.
That's why the bells
How did you get involved in that in the first place?
I just got lucky. I was there. I was at the right time, right place. They had already done one series of it, and Ronnie Ancona, who was one of the other girls in it, she left very quickly, just didn't give much notice, and they needed someone to fill in. And I had literally arrived and said, look, I just did a sketch show in Australia called Full Frontal. I got heaps of tapes of it. Look, I've done heaps of sketches. And they went, oh, well, you'll do.
And that's how you get a job.
And that's literally, I landed at the right spot, right time. I was actually doing a gig with Lee Mack, I think, the night before. And I said, I've done sketch shows because we were just doing a stand-up gig together. And he said, have you got any tapes? I went, yeah, I'll send you some tapes. So it was just luck.
Isn't it funny? Back then, tapes.
Tapes, yeah. You're right, I have had a full career.
She's talking about physical media, everybody.
I've worked on all of it.
And perhaps a lesser-known aspect is that you worked on radio in Bunbury. True or false?
Bunbury?
Well, no, I worked as a copywriter in the satellite radio network. So it was the radio network that went to sort of everywhere all over Western Australia.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm huge everywhere. No, I was the copywriter, so I used to write all the ads.
So that was, you weren't even allowed to talk. You just had to write.
I did the reads
ads.
as well. Yeah. When we couldn't get a proper person in, I'd read the community service announcements and
ads for
which is a
sheep
very
dip
hard thing to
and
say.
the like.
And I wrote ads, terrific ads, so they're always the things, like the 3 ways to start, start with a question. Are you looking for a good price on,
And then what happens?
What else?
Okay, start with a question, and then what happens? Then what happens?
And then there's the ones where the people actually want to read their own ad and you go, and you try your best to talk them out of it, but they go, no, I want to come in. So then they come in and go, if you're looking for meat to please you, we'd be pleased to meet you. I've done them all.
You've got shows on this weekend?
Yes. Just
Heaps
across
of them.
the road there at the Regal Theatre.
Oh, fancy.
Beautiful Regal Theatre. I know, I love it.
And Kitty, I was reading at your favourite musical friend comes out in this. Have you got
My musical stooge.
Yes.
My sister Penny.
Penny.
Yes, I've brought her again. We came here last time, a couple of years ago. And
I saw you in that show at the Astor Theatre and you were very funny.
Oh, we came back again after that.
Really?
Yeah, and we did the Regal, and I brought my stooge again, and I just love travelling with her. It's great having a buddy on tour with me, and she's also extremely talented. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
She can sing properly, which is great because then I can sing next to her, and because we're
Comedically,
sisters, and our voices have the same sort of tone, so people often think it's me that's singing really well. It's great. It's
nice
a really
trick.
It is.
So you've got your sisters talented. Anyone else, brothers and sisters in your family, or is that
Yeah, I've got a brother. We don't talk about him. No, he's fine.
Is he like?
Oh,
He's a chef.
the lesser Flanagan.
He's a chef.
He's
He
a
lives
chef.
up in Japan.
Oh,
And
really?
my father's not too bad, not too shabby either. He's an author. He writes the Ranger's Apprentice series, which probably
Are
some
you
of the
kidding
kids.
me?
Yeah. He's the actual success in the family.
Wow.
He's the real talent.
And Mum, what is she? A tightrope walker?
Oh, again,
What
we don't
happened?
talk about her.
Oh, right.
We've tried to forget.
That's terrible. You
She's
just
a
feed her.
drunk.
She went
She's
down
an
the shop for
absolute
cigarettes
drunk.
and never came back.
She
That
just
old story.
drains the money out of my father's purse. She's a dreadful. So lucky I'm in Perth. I'd be shocked if she heard me say that.
Is your sister listening right now, reporting back to your mother?
Yeah, probably. My mum's the one that sits up the back of my shows, and if I ever, say a swear word, you hear people laugh, and then you hear, oh. It's just as funny without the swearing.
You know what?
Not big, it's not
It's
clever.
not. Yeah.
So people, if they don't know what your show's all about, and if they haven't heard of you, which they're stupid and they've been living under a rock, what are they going to get, Kitty? What are they going to get when they sit down?
This is my show, I like to call this is my show. I've brought a big sparkly curtain and everything. I do everything from my funny stories and funny voices. I do music with my sister, funny music. Don't think we're going to be serious up there and go, yeah, here's a really beautiful tune that I wrote about a breakup. It's not going to be serious music, so there's a couple of funny songs. I roll about the stage. I do some experimental movement. I do some burlesque with my clothes on. This is the show that has everything.
Yeah.
Wow. It really
I wanted
does.
to do a show where when people left the theatre, they were going, well, you know what? That was worth getting up off the couch, getting dressed, out of my trackies and going out for. Because I know sometimes people think, oh, I can't be bothered going out. So I needed to make it a show that was worth
it.
getting
Fully
out
worth
for.
getting out of the
Yeah.
trackies for.
That was my ambition. So that's what I've tried to do with it.
Well, but clothes on burlesque, I'd say job done. To be honest, who can compete with that?
Nova.